I think that several of the issues, and while they may not be as sexy as job creation or health care, that they're important nonetheless, and that is everybody wants to talk about accountability, but nobody seems to know how to identify what accountability is and how we can identify it. I think it's most important that we understand the difference between a beginning and an end, and that we understand that where accountability fits in is that we can actually go in and we can tweak our bills and our what we believe to be solutions if they're not doing what we expect them to do or what the American people expect them to do. So I think that accountability is going to be important. We talked about partisanship and nonpartisanship. I think that if we can hold each party accountable in such a way that they either did or they didn't, they will or they won't, they have or they haven't, then it's going to be an important function or functionality that people talk about, but we don't seem to see it. And so we need to put accountability in such a way where it is actually, there's a yardstick involved, and we know either we performed or we have not performed. Secondly, and part of that accountability is something as simple as the truth. And that's part of the problem. We have all these special interest groups. We've got people based on partisanship alone giving different messages. The only thing that's more harmful than telling a lie is telling a half-truth, because the half-truths sound like the truth, they smell like the truth, they look like the truth, but the fact of the matter is they're not. And we need to be able, the American people need to be able to distinguish and understand whether their senator is telling them the truth. And again, you know, so much of who I am come back from those values that we learned on the farm. And that's where you learn that character. You learn that you shared your garden with your neighbor. Your neighbor helped you get your cows out of the middle of the road usually at midnight. But the other thing you also learned is you learned about the truth, and that you told the truth regardless of the consequences. And I'm gonna, you know, I believe in term limits. And I believe in term limits because one of the things that is missing is we have too many career politicians more concerned about getting reelected than telling us the truth and letting us know what and working for us. I believe that term limits will allow me to make the people that I serve understand that I'm only going to be there for 2 terms. 12 years is plenty of time. If 2 terms is good enough for the president, it ought to be good enough for our Senate.